Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I did these two flower designs and everything that I used to do them. Got so many requests when I did this previous flower design for a short tutorial. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys like the gist of it, and then you can pretty much run with it however you decide. I'm going to show you everything that I use, all of the colors I decided to use in this look today. And then you kind of have like an idea of where to start and how to do it. So these first six colors are from Dyme Nails. I also am obsessed with her brushes. So yeah, the first six colors, Mahogany, Raise, Spice, Pinot, Juniper, and Storm, are all from Dyme Nails. Then we have Magenta, Green, and Yellow from Sundara Nails. I love all of these inks. I've been kind of playing around. I just recently got the Sundara Nails inks, so I've been playing with them a little bit more. I already know that I love the Dyme Nails inks because I've been playing with those for a little while now. I also use a glass palette. The resin ones are great, but with using acetone with the watercolor, it's just best to have a glass one so that you don't ruin your palette. I got this one off of Amazon. It was really inexpensive. I also do suggest good marbling brushes. Now for that other design, I just used some cheap brushes and it was so much harder. But I did get this aqua brush from Dyme Nails. I hadn't opened it before this video, so this video is my first time actually playing with this brush. I also use her Marble Queen brush. I love it. These brushes are also made to withstand acetone because that's how you have to marble with her inks. So if you're in the market for a good marbling brush, I would definitely suggest picking this one up. I also did get her Paint and Innovate brush, and this is like a medium-sized brush. So you have your skinny one, which is the aqua one. You have this one, the Paint and Innovate brush, and then you have the Marble Queen brush itself. And y'all, I just cannot get over this ombre, this purple and orange ombre. Like, it is so pretty. So there's all of that stuff, the main stuff. And then we have the Dyme Nails, the trio. You have your sealing gel, your matte top coat, and your glossy top coat. I will talk about all of those as we get into using them. But that trio is definitely like the magic trio, especially for getting them to work easy. I also use Fluffy Clouds from Sundara Nails as my base. It's best to use a white base when doing this, or a really light base, because it helps the colors pop. I also use this small, tiny little Dappen dish, and then I have some acetone. Also, you're going to need a paper towel. I use a full sheet, and then I fold it up so that it's kind of thicker and I'm not getting ink everywhere. I also do have like a puppy dog pad on top of a silicone mat, and then a paper towel on top of that, just so that there is no ink gonna get on my table or mess things up. Between ink and acetone, you're gonna ruin something if you don't have a very good barrier underneath. So right now, I'm going to lay out all of my colors that I'm gonna choose for this design on the palette, and then I'm gonna kind of wait and let them dry up, because we want them to be like watercolor consistency. Now, you could just go buy a watercolor pack, and just have this already dried out, but I love the versatility of these inks, and they are so beginner friendly. So I haven't had any problems doing any kinds of designs. I decided to post this video first. I do have another video that I did directly after this, that I have a bunch of different marbling designs, and I'm going to post it in a few days, so just stay tuned for my other marbling video. I do have a bunch of fun different ones, but this is kind of all I really did. I just did the flowers because they needed their own separate video, because it's already long enough. The other video I think is about like a little over 30 minutes, but I'm going to be doing a bunch of fun marbling videos. I've been learning a bunch of stuff from Dyme Nails and all her ambassadors. Like, I just love watching marbling videos, and I think the look is so fun. Excuse me having to use a separate brush for this one. The brush that came inside this one was broken, so I'm just waiting on a replacement brush. So I just use a different one. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm just putting all my colors that I'm going to use on my palette now. This is real time. I left it real time so you guys could kind of see. I think I maybe sped it up like 1.2 or something, but it's mostly real time for this. But all I'm doing is laying the colors out on the palette so that they start to dry. And then I really wanted to use like a teal-ish color versus like that really bright green. So what I did at the end was I ended up throwing a little bit of blue in it because green and blue will give you that teal color. So you can change your colors around and mix them up a little bit to kind of get the colors that you're wanting. So it really just depends on what look you're going for. And if you mess it up, you can just wipe it off with acetone. That is another reason why I like the Dyme Nails matte. If you get to going and you mess up your design, almost all of the colors come off. Now there are some that are super pigmented, like this purple is really pigmented, her dark brown, black, and her dark blue. Like some of them are really pigmented and you just can't wipe them off. But for the most part, if you want to change your design or you're not happy with it, you can just either paint over it and try to make it into something different, or you can just wipe the whole nail off with acetone. So it's really up to whatever you want to do. So I've got all the colors kind of mixed up and I'm just going to wait for them to dry. They have to dry before you can really get started. So I'm just going to let them dry on the palettes and then I am going to kind of get into the design. So what I did with the nails already, I decided to do one medium length nail and then one extra long nail. I think it's a 2X. But I know the other one is a medium. So I did the design on long nails first, so I wanted to do both. So I just put one layer of white and then I just put a matte top coat on it because matte top coat will allow you to marble the nails. Now with the metallic inks, it's a different way. So I'm going to do a separate video when I use the metallic inks. I will explain it in my next video because I do a little bit of metallic inks in that video, but they work a little bit different. But they also come with the instruction cards to show you kind of how to do it in case you're wondering. So no worries. Dyme Nails sends instruction cards with all of her stuff. So I apologize. I was off screen a little bit for that one, but I do stay in screen so you can see for just about all of the design. I say about a good 95-96% I'm in screen so you can see what I'm doing. So right now I'm just kind of giving it like a semi-abstract rose looking design. Now this one, y'all, it does come together. I know it looks kind of wonky. So that's why I had a hard time starting with these flowers because I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? My flowers do not look good. Like, what is happening? But this is one of those designs where you just kind of have to trust the process and you just got to kind of keep going. So I'm just going to kind of let you guys watch what I'm doing. My little Dappen dish just has acetone in it. And that's all I use is acetone. And I just dip in the different colors and clean it off. And wipe my brush occasionally, but yeah, that's really all that you do. And then you can pretty much fix it as you go. So it's really kind of self-explanatory, but I did want to show you guys how I did it so that you can kind of have an idea. I've watched a lot of videos. I watched the Dyme Nails video on repeat so that I could kind of figure it out and do it a little bit easier. But once I got these brushes, especially this Paint and Innovate brush, it was a lot easier. So I'll let you guys just kind of watch what I'm doing. And I show you the entire design on both nails. I think I speeded up just a little bit on the other one. But yeah, this is pretty much all that I do. And it just takes a little bit of patience. It's supposed to look watercolory and abstract, so it's not going to be perfect straight lines. It's not going to be perfect flowers or leaves or anything. So it's pretty much up to your interpretation on what you want to do. I'm going to try to do some pumpkins and some fall leaves and all that coming up. So I'm going to try to do more videos with playing around more and kind of showing y'all a little bit more tutorials and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I think the tutorials are fun and it's fun to play. But one thing I will suggest, right? So I started off using darker colors. And what that's going to do is that's going to change the color of the acetone with the brown and the dark colors. So when I go to dip my brush into the yellow, it's going to turn it like a golden brown. It's going to have like a golden brown tone versus just like a straight yellow. So if you're wanting to like dip into your lighter colors, I would just suggest maybe changing your acetone or having a separate little Dappen dish of acetone that's only used for white, or not yeah, either white or light colors. But yeah, I'll let you guys just kind of watch for a little bit and I'll come back in. I'll pop it back in as I need to explain some things to you guys. All right, so now that I'm liking how the nail is looking, I'm just going to put it to the side because you really want to let the inks dry completely on the nail before putting any kind of sealing gel or glossy top coat or anything on them. Just kind of want to put it to the side and let it dry completely because if you don't, you will smear it. So you just leave it there, let it dry. Please just let it dry. Otherwise, all that hard work will be ruined. Now I'm just going to replenish a couple of the colors and we're going to get started on the larger nail. So I do the exact same thing. I wanted to do a couple of different flowers just to kind of show you guys a couple of different techniques for flowers and vines and all that. So yeah, I just refresh my colors as I need them, let them dry just a little bit, and then I just get started into the larger one. I also do change my acetone, like I was saying, like you see how dark the acetone turned from clear. You don't want to start with that on a fresh nail. So always make sure that you're making sure your acetone is nice and clean and clear, just so that you can get your best results. Because if you keep using the same acetone, it is going to make the flower look a little bit wonky and your colors will be different. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I will let you guys watch. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so that's pretty much all I'm gonna do for that one. And now I'm gonna top coat the other nail because it was sitting there the whole time and it's pretty much ready to be top coated. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna not drag your top coat through your design. You wanna kind of float it on top and you'll see the design pretty much come together. Like it looks a little bit like streaky and all that until you put the top coat on. But once you put that top coat on, it brings the whole design together. Like, look at how that just came together. And that glossy top coat, like, I cannot suggest it enough. Now, this one wasn't completely dry, and I was like a little bit stressed about it, but I wanted to show you that you can do it, even if just sitting for a couple of minutes. I also thought that that flower was a little bit too dark down there in the bottom to go with like the vibe of the rest of the design. So I just kind of used a little bit of acetone, and then I just decided that I wanted to like mess around with it just a little bit, put a little bit more color in, just use some acetone. And I'm just kind of fixing the flower to my liking. So this design is really abstract and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. I just looked up some watercolor flowers on Pinterest and I just kind of went with like the vibe of it for my first attempt. But for this one, I didn't look at any designs or any flowers or anything. I just kind of went with what I know. And here is what I came out with for that design. But I decided that I was going to let it wait just a little bit. So I decided to let it dry and then come back and top coat. So always remember to float your top coat on. Don't drag through the designs. So the dark pink in that bigger flower, I did want to try putting a metallic in there. And I think if I'd added a little bit more, I think it would have looked a little bit better. But I do like the way it turned out. So I'm probably going to try it again. But this was mainly just to give you guys like a quick tutorial on how I did the flower nails before. You can do them on short nails, you can do them on long nails, but I really just wanted to show y'all my process for doing them, and I really hope that y'all give them a try. So again, here are the final nails at the very end. This little clip I showed in the beginning. Here's how they turned out. I love them. And then I also give you a little sneak peek at what I do in my next video. So here's the designs that I do in my next video. I actually did the other video before this one, but this one was so much more requested that I just decided to post it first. But anyway, thank y'all for sticking around. I hope you have a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.